everybody. Welcome back to episode 4 of Jack Out of the Box. Today I have one of my mates, Isaac, joining me on the phone because he's just entered COVID ISO. So, hey Isaac, how are you today?
Good, Jack. Keen to have a chat.
Yeah, I am very keen to have a chat too. We've got a bit of a list of things to go through today that I hope you guys will enjoy as much as I do. I know when Isaac works as a support worker for me on my overnight session, so yeah, we usually have a bit of a chat every night till whenever we decide to go to sleep. Yeah, so first...
That's a bit of an understatement.
Yeah. So I thought first off, Isaac's been to New Zealand, so I thought he could get us started with what he did when he went over there.
Yeah, sounds good. So, how old have I been? I think I was 16, and I should preface it with come from a small rural town called Uralla in New South Wales. So, outback-ish farming community, and I got this chance through Rotary to travel to New Zealand and do an exchange. It's like a 3-month program where I go over for 3 months, and then we host someone for 3 months. And I was the actual second person to do it in my family. My sister did it before me, and she raved about it. She said it got her out of her shell, and she got to learn cool stuff about the culture there, and just it's a very beautiful country. So I was very keen to do it, and so the time came around. I was in year 10, and I applied to do it, and it all went ahead. And then a few weeks before I was to go over, the family that I was meant to go to cancelled. So I was kind of in this limbo of whether I would go or not. And fortunate enough, a family that hosted a bunch of people a few years ago said they'd take me on.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. And where I ended up in Methven, which is in the South Island, and it's a skiing town. So one day a week at the school, the students would go skiing for half a day, and then most weekends we'd go up with the family. And so I went from like a complete beginner to able to do double blacks and stuff like that. It was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So how long did you end up over there for?
Yeah, so I was there for 3 months.
3 months.
And what I forgot to mention was because they hosted me, I didn't have to do the hosting on the other side, which I was a bit bummed about because I couldn't show some New Zealand kid Uralla and Armidale and Australian culture, which I was pretty keen to do, but it was kind of like a 3-month holiday.
Yeah.
To New Zealand.
It worked out pretty well for you.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was really cool. Really, really cold. Oh my God. It was so obviously there in winter. And yeah, it's just insane conditions, but like such an awesome experience. Would recommend anyone thinking about doing it to go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I know, after I've checked out most of Australia, New Zealand would be somewhere I'd like to go.
Yeah, of course.
Just to scope it out, have a look around. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to travel around the Northern Ireland as well now, because I've kind of done the South. I've been to the Northern Ireland on a work trip when I was out of school, but it was only for a few days. We stayed with the brother community there. So it was that again was a pretty awesome trip. But yeah, New Zealand should definitely go.
Yeah, cool. You put another place to go on my bucket list. Yeah, so then also you have travelled to Pakistan too.
Yeah, that was an insane trip. Wow. One of my best mates in high school was Pakistani. His name is Honey, and he kind of was always trying to rope the boys into going to Pakistan after high school, and it was always kind of like, because you look on the government websites and it's like Pakistan is like a do not travel destination So always kind of like, do we do it? Do we not? And then first year out, I was kind of like, oh, what the hell? I should definitely just do this. I have a Pakistani hosting me. So what can go wrong?
Yeah, it's not like you were going over there with absolutely no idea at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And one of my other mates, Harry, who I'm living with now, he was already traveling overseas. So I'm sure he would have come with us, but we couldn't link it up. But yeah, Pakistan, where to begin? It's absolutely beautiful country. I'll start on the way there. We did a stopover in China, and unbeknownst to me, Pakistanis can't travel out of the airport because of they're connected to China. I'm pretty sure like the countries along China's border aren't allowed to do like 12, 24, or like 48-hour passes just to travel around the city on your layover.
Yeah, okay.
And so we're at the gate and we just come off the plane. This is my first time traveling. I've been to New Zealand, but this is first time traveling like into Asia or proper international travel.
Yeah.
And no one really spoke English. And then before I'd known it, we were in a line to do our passports, and I was at the front of the line. And I'd gone through and they checked me and they're like, yep, all good, free to go. So I went through a door and was on the other side of a glass wall, and I could see Honey and his family there, his sister Walija and his mum.
Yep.
And I was waiting for them to come through the door, and the border security or whatever they're called wouldn't let them through. And I was like, oh, because preface this with we were there for pretty much 2 full days and a night. So it was a night in between, and we got there in the morning and we're leaving the next night.
Yep.
And so they were on one side of the glass wall. I was on the other. They weren't allowed through. We couldn't hear each other. We could only see each other. And what I didn't realize at the moment was that on the Chinese, like they block messenger and like pretty much any form of communication. Yep. Until I learned later that you can talk on WhatsApp in China, but we didn't realize this at the time. So it was kind of like, I looked at Honey's mom and she looked at me and she kind of had an oh fuck face. And then we pointed at our watches and did 2 fingers up for like 2 days time, meet back here at the airport.
Yeah.
So I had to like fend for myself. And I was like, I was pretty green at this in traveling, and I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And so anyway, so I was like, I've got 2 days in, I think it's Guangzhou or something. It's a big city in China. I've definitely butchered that name very hard, but forgive me. Yeah. So what happened was I was in this massive international airport, and they take you. I got directed to this info desk where they just put an iPad in front of you. No one really speaks English here, or it's very broken. It's kind of like go here, and then variations of that. And they put an iPad in front of me, and they're like, pick. And there's just like endless amount of hotels to pick from. And then what they do is you pick a hotel, they give you a sticker, and then they chuck you on a bus. And then someone on the bus is like, off here. And then you go stay in that hotel, and then you get picked up to go back to the airport in 2 days' time.
Yeah, well.
And, yeah, sorry.
No, it sounds good. At least you weren't at the airport for 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. It was actually really cool. I met 2 Canadian Pakistanis on the bus to the hotel, and yeah, it just complete luck, and by chance we ended up staying at the same hotel, which I could not even do the odds. And I've done some statistics classes, and yeah, that would I don't know how, but it was meant to be. So me, these two Pakistani Canadians, and I think it was from Argentina. We'd all picked the same hotel, and the Pakistani Canadians were flying on the same flight with me to Pakistan, and the Argentinian guy was there just for a day. But we all traveled around this city for 2 days and ate food and all that kind of stuff. Used Google Translate a lot, which was fun. Yeah, so long story short, I get back to the airport. There's like 2 hours for my flight to go. And I was like, I got heaps of time chilling. Hour ticks by. Honey's family hasn't rocked up yet for this flight to Pakistan. Remembering that Pakistan is a do not travel destination. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? Honey's family isn't here. And these two Pakistani Canadians with me, and they're like, oh, it's all right, man. We'll host you for the month you're over in Pakistan for. We'll sort you out. And I was like, oh, this is what have I got myself into? And it's half an hour before the flight. Honey's family still hasn't come, and then they're boarding. They're boarding the flight. Honey's family's in there. I have to make a decision whether I stay at the airport and try and find wherever the hell they are, or I go to Pakistan and go to the embassy and talk to it like I'm Australian, I'm meant to be here with the family, they haven't come. And we're on the shuttle bus to go to the flight, and I've decided I'll go, and these Pakistani Canadians are like, we'll just take you straight to the embassy in wherever we're landing.
Yeah.
And I was proper freaking out. And then on the bus, Honey's family come down the escalator, and then they run onto the bus, and they're like, oh, sorry, we're just watching a movie in the hotel room and we'll leave. I was like, oh, God.
Oh, thank God. Bet that let you rest easy a bit.
Yeah. So that was my trip before Pakistan, getting into it. But yeah, once I got to Pakistan, man, it's one of the most insane things I've ever been able to do, and would recommend to anyone to go over to Pakistan. Like, the food, amazing. The culture, amazing. They're so welcoming to foreigners. Honey's dad was telling me that used to be like a hippie trail through Pakistan through the 70s and 80s. So a lot of Westerners would go there. But in the last couple of years, it's pretty much closed off to foreigners. So you get there and people haven't seen a white guy like their whole lives. So you're getting filmed.
Yeah.
Just, you see people with their phones out filming you, or like the brave people will come up and ask ask about Shane Moore and then like the Australian cricket team, and if I play cricket and all this stuff. It's honestly, they're beautiful people and they're so accommodating and willing to look after you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Temples there are amazing as well. Yeah, no, it was a pretty phenomenal trip. Definitely remember it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
A lot of stories from Pakistan, but go over it another time.
Yeah, I think your airport story's probably good.
Yeah.
I bet that waiting for Honey and them was the most stressful time of your life, not knowing.
Yeah, I think it was up there. I'd say top 2 stressful moments of my life. And still deciding on another one. So,
yeah. All right. So the next thing on our list, Isaac and I are pretty keen Survivor fans. So we sort of thought we'd talk about what's been happening in the show since it started 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I think 24 days in, so 3 weeks.
Yeah, so Isaac and I we talked about it and we're like, yeah, we'll watch it this season. And then when it started, we each picked 3 people that we thought would make it to the end, and then one winner out of them. So far only one of my guys is left, and he's not the guy I thought who was going to win it. So yeah, I'm definitely
Jack,
on Team Mark.
You graded?
I hope he gets to the end, but I guess we'll find out.
I reckon Mark has a good chance of playing it out to the end. I don't know if he'll get to the end because he's such a challenge beast, that they might get rid of him. But Mark was in my top 3 as well. I don't know if you have it there, Jack, who my top 3 were.
Or I can try and find it in our messages from ages ago. Yeah, but so merge is happening on Sunday, tomorrow. What do you reckon? That's going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works.
I think Mark and his partner, good chance of doing well post-merge, because I noticed a lot of couples were kind of like, I want to be with my partner, because initially at the start of the season they got split up to the two different tribes.
Yeah.
And trying to fighting through with their partner. But Mark and his wife, Sam,
yeah,
they kind of were happy to be apart so that they could build alliances and then come together at merge. So I'm excited to see them play out.
Yeah, I from some of the shorts, I am kind of probably going to disagree. It looks like they want to work with different people, so.
Oh, you reckon
it looks like it's going to cause some problems, but
you reckon they're both too competitive? They want to win, that they'll go against each other.
Yeah, I think they might end up doing that.
Does happen.
Would create some drama, make it good to watch.
It'd be good TV.
So yeah, I've scrolled back, found your stuff. You said top 3: Geordie, Mark, Shay, with Shay winning, and you had Alex as a wild card.
And Alex left with a broken back.
Yes. So hopefully he's doing well.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 people left. All 3 of your people are still there.
I'm a good pick. So I study psychology. The only reason I'm studying psychology is so that one day when I make it onto Survivor, I'll do well. Be good. I was going to ask, if you made it onto the show, what would your strategy be? Early game to mid to late?
Oh, look, early game, I think you just got to make friends, like have fun while you're there. I think the people that go in there and try to play big moves right at the start, you got the wrong idea. Like, sure, you're there to win, but I think the experience will be pretty crazy. Like, don't go in there with a hot head wanting to just get rid of someone, because then most likely they're going to get rid of you because you're
trying too hard. Yeah.
Too big for your boots. So that happened with one of my picks. Bree, I thought she looked like a bit of a challenge beast and sounded like she had the strategy down at the start, but then decided to come in swinging and missed very bad.
That she did.
So then she went home very quickly. Her dad was her partner in there, and he first time ever I've seen some stuff on Twitter that someone's blindsided themselves and then had to use their idol on themselves so they don't get sent home. So Dave wasn't sure who had his back and picked the wrong person to say he didn't have his back. But amazingly, Dave is still on the show and
he's very quiet at the moment. Yeah, I think he learned his lesson.
Yeah, his name doesn't come up too much. He's not trying to take big shots. He's just I think he might be one of the easy pickings after merge, but because he's there by himself and he's not the fittest guy, so not really a challenge beast, but it's kind of...
I think you've nailed it.
His recovery from blindsiding himself has gone pretty well, apart from him obviously not having an idol anymore.
Yeah, I'd say play for top 10 and then you get to stay in a resort for 2 weeks.
Exactly. Then
and watch
you've done Survivor, then you can have a holiday for the rest of it. And
and you get to watch the travel.
Who wins.
Yeah. So, if I wasn't playing for a win, I'd play for top 10.
Yeah, I think so.
And it would be so heartbreaking to go out in like the top 3-ish, but if you're going out 9 or 10, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's your end game strat? You make it. Let's say you make it to top 10.
End game, like, because you got to build a resume, so you do want to take shots later on and get rid of some big hitters. But so yeah, I think like the likes of Geordie, who pulled off the vote to get rid of Sandra, who's won Survivor twice. Has been on it 4 times as well. Like, he took a big swing and he hit well and truly. So yeah, I think well done to him. I think, yeah, you want to, if there are returners who have, not that winners usually go back, but if you do happen to have a winner who's there, like, you want to get rid of them eventually. So yeah, I think that's probably mid-game. You want to make a big move, get rid of someone who is a big threat, who's, can win it easily. And then probably, end game, I think sort of after merge, you want to start off a bit slow, like build up your relationship with the teams on the people on the other tribe as well. Then you can sort of have a bigger alliance and start getting rid of the people who have less numbers. But then it gets complicated because then you have to vote for people in your alliance when it's down to you guys left. That's where you've got to pick who you vote for, because you vote for the wrong person, everyone else votes for someone else. Then who's on the chopping block next week? You are.
Exactly. Yeah, I like it. I'm really keen for the end game for this season.
So, I think you become a bit of a follower for the start of the end game after merge, and then once you know who your friends are, then you take some bigger swings and get some more stuff to put on your resume. Like, people don't want to vote for someone to win who hasn't done anything the whole time but has managed to get to the end.
Exactly. You got to think of it. You get to the final 2 and you see this happen. Like, they somehow get there without playing anything major, and then they're just like, I'm sorry, you didn't play the game well enough. And then they give it to the other person. Yeah. Like,
I know you definitely had more experience watching it. I only watched the 2019 season and then haven't watched any.
Which one was that?
That was when...
Who took that? Dave won.
Yeah, Dave won. Which,
Dave
again,
the GOAT.
That just proves what I just said, that, people don't want people who haven't done anything to win.
Yeah.
Like, David
the funny one is... Yeah, keep going.
David played big moves and burnt a lot of bridges, and people, were like, respected him for that.
They kind of respected it, yeah. Well, he didn't do it maliciously. He was just like, I'm here to play the game. Like,
he wasn't holding it against anyone. He was just like, honestly was a chronic winner, and it helped him get there, and he won. Yeah.
The funniest times are when maybe you do that and you get to the end, but the people you burnt bridges with just absolutely hate you, that they convince the people in the, what are they called? The 10 or the 8 that make it to the retreat or whatever it is.
The council.
Yeah, the council. Yeah. They convince them to not vote for them, and then the weaker person wins.
Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of underdog story. I think lots of people who watch the show would be happy if that happened. Like, the person who's just done their own thing, or maybe not even done their own thing, done what they've been told. Like, you just become a follower, and maybe then people don't see you as a threat, so they're like, oh, don't worry about them. They won't be there when we get to merge and whatever. But
exactly.
Surprise, here they are. They're still there.
I'm thinking they went to the fire comp.
Yep.
Whatever it is. First to light the rope on fire.
Yeah.
I cannot remember her name for the life of me.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about that. Michelle, yeah.
She gets no coverage, really, of any dialogue, or her sister. And I don't know if the producers are setting that up so that the audience get blindsided and she makes top 3 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so who in that, when Ben and Michelle went to fire?
That was such an intense episode.
Who did you want to win?
I didn't know, honestly, because Ben was playing the game, I think. I think he did the right decision.
Yeah,
there's a lot of context to this that people who don't watch the show would have no idea about. But do you want to recount kind of what happened for Ben to get into the situation?
Yeah, okay. So basically, on the Blue Tribe, there was quite a few big fellas who kind of... Wait, no, that's the Red Tribe. The Blue Tribe, there's kind of one sort of really challenge beast guy, and then one guy who's almost there but not quite. And then Michael Crocker is also on that team, if any of you guys know him from rugby league. So, yeah, this young bloke, Geordie, had decided that Ben was who they were going to vote for because he's a challenge beast and won quite a few for him. So they were like, we need to get rid of this guy before merge. And also Shay, his partner's on the other team. So they didn't want two challenge beasts to be brought together at merge because they'd just win immunity all the time and then they'd end up being the last two left. So, yeah, Geordie said, yeah, let's vote for Ben, like conned everyone else into it. And he was like, yeah, this is going to be a big move. It'll go on my resume well. Everyone seems to agree with it. But then the show just threw a complete spanner in the works. So the night they voted Ben out ended up being the Red Tribe had a game-changing clue that they could use at council. So they'd got to attend the vote while the other team voted someone out. And then anyone who got votes in that council the other tribe got the opportunity to steal one of them via vote. So obviously Shay being on that team, she was like, you know who I want. I mean, it would be good if you could get him on Ben on our team, but they saw that as a problem. They didn't want to bring two people together any earlier than they needed to. So they brought across KJ, who was sort of at the bottom of the pack on the blue team, and her sister had already gone home. So they were like, why not? This is the easiest one. We're not bringing two people together. And she's an easy vote if we decide we don't want her anymore. So, yeah, then they took KJ and Ben went back with the Blue Tribe and they all had the shits because they wanted to get rid of this guy and he's back there and he's got the shits because everyone voted for him.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to the next episode, Croc all of a sudden decides that he wants to vote Jesse out because... Wait, what happened? No, that's not what happened.
He thinks Jesse will be a danger at merge. And he's...
Yes, that's what it was.
So he wants to flip it so that instead of Ben going out, because Jesse has to Ben doesn't know this. Jesse's trying to get Ben out this whole time.
Yeah, and Ben doesn't know.
Ben actually thinks Jesse is his friend. Is confiding in him.
Yeah, so Ben thinks Croc's sister-in-law, who's also on their team, is the one who wanted to get rid of Ben.
Yeah.
She wasn't the main one, but she did make one of the votes. So because Croc knows Jesse's trying to vote Ben out, who Croc and Ben are like pretty tight, they were like, get the big boys together sort of thing, keep them together. So, yeah, Croc tells everyone basically but Jesse that they're going to vote Jesse. Little does he know, Ben still has the shits with Chrissy because he thinks she voted for him. So Ben finds Jesse, who's at that time with Sam and one of the other people, and told him that Croc's going to vote for you, and which was a bit of an alliance I didn't see coming. So Jesse flipped his vote from Ben, who just stuck up for him and has now let him stay in the show, to vote for Croc, and surprised everyone. Ben also voted for Croc, and they'd been pretty in a bit of a tight challenge beast alliance before that. So yeah, Croc went home the next night when everyone thought it was going to be Ben. So then the last episode that just happened, both they played for individual immunity, so it wasn't for the whole team. Did you watch that episode, Isaac?
Yep, individual immunity. It was. Oh, that was the interest. That was where Sam.
Yeah,
fainted.
so Sam had fainted when there was her and Khan, one of the other guys left.
Yeah, Khan, this big man who actually playing a brilliant game. I think Khan could actually take it out. I think he's if I were to do my votes again, I would put Khan
for sure. Khan is just.
I'm just really enjoying his
not
gameplay.
Quite a challenge beast, but he's pretty good at challenges. And he has
a good heart as well.
Yeah, so Sam had fainted doing this challenge, and they'd talked before. She knew she wasn't feeling that crash hot standing on these pegs holding this ball up. And so they'd sort of made a pact. Khan was like, yeah, if I win, I'll give it to you. And then I think he wanted to give it to her even more after she'd passed out.
Yeah, I commend the effort, but I don't think he should have done it. If I was in his situation, I'm not giving away immunity.
Then he honestly almost had to burn his idol to stay in the game.
Yeah, exactly. And Sam, to her credit, she wasn't budging. After Khan had given the idol to her, then Khan's name kind of came up at tribal council. And she was like, no, I'm sorry.
He had the balls to hold on to his idol. He didn't use it, and he didn't get voted. So
yeah, well played to the man. If he makes it to the final, that kind of honestly, that's the stuff that'll win him.
Yeah, people will be like, this guy gave away immunity. Admittedly, he did have an idol,
he was.
But then he had the balls not to play the idol at tribal.
Perfect time to take Khan out, honestly. If you're thinking strategically, you're taking him out there.
He could have ended up like Croc, sent home with an idol in his pocket, and that's that.
Exactly.
Definitely the worst way to go. On the red team, Shay had one individual immunity, so it was her and Sam who couldn't get votes at tribal. So then they the blue team finally got their act together and worked out that they were getting rid of Ben. He put up a fight. He got some votes on other people, but he was up against 6 other people who didn't want him there. So, and then on the red team, what happened over there? They just wanted an easy vote. They thought KJ and Michelle, they were like, yeah, we'll split them and whatever. Because they were thinking they were going forever. But, then they split 4 votes on Michelle and 3 on KJ. She knew she was getting votes, but knew she had a feeling she wasn't going to end up going home. So that was good of the red tribe to hold themselves to that. She got 3 votes. Michelle got 4. So then Ben and Michelle went to fire. So basically they have a flint and some husk and some sticks, and they've got to light a fire underneath this string and when the string breaks, they win. And, oh, my God, that was honestly the most intense part of the show since. It was so close the whole time. Michelle got her fire going really well at the start and then just didn't really... She ran out of husk and didn't have enough sticks to go on it and stuff, so it looked pretty bad. And Ben was looking pretty good at this stage.
I thought he had it in the bag.
Oh, it looked like it. Michelle had built her fire up a bit, but nowhere near what Ben had. I think Ben came unstuck when he threw all that husk on it, and it just lit up on fire and the flames were blowing out of the way because of the wind. Michelle's strategy of standing where the wind was coming, I don't know why Ben didn't do that. He would have won if he did that. I think that
won her the challenge. So I just ruined it for anyone listening, but she burnt the rope first. She survived.
Yeah. And I think as much as, it was a bit sad that Shay was losing her partner in the show, I think keeping Michelle and Mel on the show is probably better. Like, they're kind of underdogs.
I'm keen to see how they come out in the game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they work together, because I think they have to work together because otherwise they're at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
But So I'm looking forward to merge happening this week.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. Keen.
Hopefully it works out how I want it. Hopefully Mark comes out on top, but I don't know. The teasers
Mark is too predictable, like too predictably good. I'd like to see him take a hit and see what happens once he takes an actual hit. Maybe see Sam go. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think he's got a good chance of making top 3 and even taking it out.
No, I definitely do too. And I think so does Sam, provided she can not faint in other challenges.
Yeah.
Not that that's anything against her. I'm sure that challenge was honestly the toughest thing on there that I've seen, I reckon. It was endurance and just tough.
Yeah.
Out in the sun. It's humid. It's hot. It's horrible. No one wants to... I'm sure they love the opportunity to be on Survivor, but I'm sure when they get home, they're like, why the hell did I just do that? Yeah, I think Sam will probably last. I think she'll last through this week because everyone will still have a bit of sympathy after she fainted. And it honestly didn't look very good. It was not a great thing to watch on TV, but she's fine. She's back kicking at the moment, so that's pretty good.
She's so good at crowd control, though. Like, spinning narrative, and then people just, for some reason, just believe her and go with her plans. She has a good chance of taking it out as well.
Yeah, I think so. She can keep that alliance up with Khan, and Chrissy's still there, so her too. Mark will be there. Whether they butt heads or not, I'm not sure. KJ will be back with them. That she was kind of tight with them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Croc's gone, so Chrissy doesn't have someone barking in her ear all the time, trying to do something else. Jordan and Josh are still together on the Red Tribe. I think their social game will be their fault, I reckon.
Yeah, they're kind of just relying on boys club.
Yeah, they're part of a boys club and they want to keep that going, and I don't think that...
I don't know. Yeah.
I think Sam and Chrissy will jump on that straight away. They'll be like, no, we can't have this. We can't have the big boys on a team just win everything. And, they think they're safe. So the first opportunity they get, they need to get rid of at least one of them. And then I think if they go, Mark will be next on the chopping block.
Yeah,
not
for sure.
In Sam's eyes, but in all the other ladies, I reckon... Yeah, obviously you want to get rid of the strong guys who are winning stuff.
I'm very intrigued to see how it ends and how it plays out, especially this week, post-merge. Looking forward to it.
First week of merge is good to see what everyone decides to do, especially it being blood versus water, and most people have another person on the other side, so whether they still decide to play their own game or work together.
Exactly. It's been a good advertisement for the Survivor. If people had a pen and paper and were drawing lines between names, I struggled to follow a little bit, but yeah. If you're a Survivor fan, I'm sure you'd be right.
Yeah. If you're not, sorry, we've just chatted about Survivor for 20 minutes and you probably have no idea what we're talking about, but I hope you stuck around because it's a pretty cool TV show. It's one of the only ones I sort of watch religiously.
Yeah, it'll catch you up, that conversation anyway. If you get into it.
And anything you have missed, just check it out. It's all still online to watch. We're running up to 40 minutes now, but the next topic is something I really want to talk about.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So basically, I'll just preface this by saying I am a massive hip-hop fan now. In part due to Isaac, but it was I'd finished school and was looking for something to just do and listen to other than watching telly and sleeping because that's all I'd done after I finished my HSC. Then I saw one of my mates just posted a Instagram story of a song by Mac Miller that just sounded so good. And I was like, I like this song. So it's called The Spins. It samples Empire of the Sun, and it's just awesome, happy hip hop song. Just this young kid who was the same age as I was when I was listening to it. Just rapping about not really appropriate stuff, but just becomes a massive vibe, and you can just chill with it. And ended up being a song that I rapped the first verse to at trivia one week to win us a point.
It was well worth. Cool. Yeah, that was a good point to win as well.
Oh yeah, we got us closer. So anyway, since then, that Christmas holidays when Mum and Dad and my sister and I were away on holidays, I was like, I'm gonna listen to some more Mac Miller. So I found all his albums on Spotify and made a playlist, and just I'd wake up every morning and I'd listen to another album, and I started to like really vibe with it and be like, not that I relate to it at all, like it's obviously nothing I have existed through, like I'm here, I haven't, other than being disabled, can't say I've had that many struggles in my life. So yeah, since then I've become a crazy Mac Miller fan. I love all his songs basically. Some of them are a bit interesting. So
his
yeah,
production's awesome.
Oh yeah, Germ, his producer, just knows how to make stuff work.
For sure.
Yeah, so since then I've ended up with a Spotify playlist of hip hop songs that has 1,843 songs and is an hour and 4 minutes. 104 hours 43 minutes long. It's called All the Hip Hop in lowercase. If you guys want to get into some music I like, there's a lot of stuff on there I haven't listened to. But recently I've been trying to get into Kanye West. I know Isaac's a big fan of his. So I just started.
Have you watched the thing yet? The movie?
No, I haven't yet.
The series. Sorry to interject. You should watch it.
So I just finished my listen through of The College Dropout. I know Kanye West is a pretty polarizing figure now, but yeah, going back to 2004 when he first came out on the scene and was with Jay-Z and rapping and stuff. He is just an amazing producer. How his brain creates that, I have no idea. I don't know about you, Isaac, but I'm the least creative person I know. So making a beat for yourself to rap over, I don't even know how to do that.
I reckon it's worth it. You should try it. Get a little spin. You never know. But no, Kanye, pretty polarizing. I think I love the hip hop rap kind of genre because it's I don't know, it's really intriguing, especially with like the production and like the narrative of a lot of the raps. Like some of it is like really brilliant. Yeah.
I've been watching through this guy and his dad. He has just started a YouTube channel and they react to a whole bunch of, or he gets his dad to react to a whole bunch of albums. They've just gone through Man on the Moon, Kid Cudi's album. That is some deep stuff, but the production on it and just Kid Cudi is him and Kanye are like the apex of production or artists / producers, I reckon. They can just have the brain to create a soundtrack that is just so almost hypnotizing how much stuff they can fit into a song. And even stuff that's like right at the bottom that you hardly even hear unless you've got some headphones on and you got it turned up, not really loud, but loud enough. There's a lot of hidden stuff in songs that I honestly didn't know existed that they're obviously not expecting you to hear.
Yeah, it's worth the delve. I haven't done, the only artist I've done big deep dives on is probably Kanye and who else? Probably Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick
I'm a bit of
is pretty good.
Like proper deep dives, and then I have like surface knowledge of like the other guys. But
yeah. I think if any of you guys want to get into that sort of stuff, that Dissect on Spotify, it's pretty good. They have like 20-minute episodes where they dive into a song off an album. And a season is an album. So I've also just started doing that. The first album they're doing is To Pimp a Butterfly. Like
Yeah. That would be awesome. What was it called again? Sorry?
To Pimp a Butterfly.
No,
it's called
the guys who do
the
it.
podcast called Dissect.
Dissect. Cool.
Yeah. It's well worth a listen if you want to get into that at all. The latest one is Swimming and Circles by Mac Miller. They're pretty good albums if any of you guys want to listen to either of them. Probably the craziest produced song of Mac's isn't even Germ. It's who is it? Disclosure. The song's called Blue World.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video of the dude from Disclosure. I'm not sure what either of their names is anymore. I can't remember. The whole soundtrack is sampled off this blues jazz song from like the 70s that I'd never even heard of. And just the amount of stuff, like it's basically a whole soundtrack, like a track that he's created off of this song. Like it's not, basically the whole song is, every part of the song is just a different part of the sample. Which is pretty crazy. That I just honestly take my hat off to producers like that. I don't know how they think like that and can go, yeah, I want this part of that here and this there. And yeah, I think, especially since I met you, my hip hop knowledge has increased quite a lot. And I think
so many subgenres in it.
Being able to appreciate that genre, like I know it's very niche and a lot of people don't enjoy it at all. I know that's what happens if I'm in the car. I've got to pick my playlist very, very carefully because
there's an art to it. You can't just do what the person on aux likes the most.
Yeah. I mean, most of the songs, they're pretty bumping. Like people can get in and be like, oh yeah, all right. Then my other big guy I'm a fan of, actually there's probably two that I could talk about. Logic, who's another, he just, definitely again, like Kanye, very polarizing person. I still am yet to buy his book and read it, but I think it will be pretty inspiring just to know the struggle and what he's like now. Like he has a family and a lot of money.
Did Logic write an autobiography?
Yeah, he's got a book. I
didn't realize
the Red Album Supermarket. That's his.
Oh, I thought that was just like a novel. I didn't realize.
Oh wait, maybe it did. Yeah. Anyway, he does have an autobiography that. Okay. Basically, Logic's a biracial guy, American guy. His dad wasn't there and his mum was a drug abuser. So when he was young, so I think to come from that is just amazing. Like again, he has amazing skills to produce songs. And seems like most of the hip hop community say he's a bit of a perfectionist and can be a pain in the ass to record a song with, but I think you go and listen to something like Black Spider-Man and you go, yeah, this guy is worth that time. Even 1-800 that he did with Khalid and Alicia Cara, just to do something that can be so impactful to so many people, and to get that suicide prevention hotline number so far into the public eye is just crazy. So then,
there's that keep going.
Kind of segue from that, Khalid is on that song. He, honestly, the most chill artist I can ever think of will be him. So much of his songs is just like not even close to hip hop. It's like R&B stuff, but it's pretty soothing to listen to. I've got a playlist I play when I go to sleep, and basically all of his songs are on there. I don't know how much of Khalid you listen to, Isaac, but
I kind of only got into Khalid through you, I think.
yeah, I think so too.
What's the one with the van? That album.
The one with the van.
It could be
something. The Young, Dumb and Broke one.
Free Spirit.
Yeah, Free Spirit. No, that's good. It's very different from his debut album, but is still pretty good.
What's your favorite from Khalid?
Oh, I'll just bring up his playlist I've got on Spotify to check that out. But honestly,
American Teen.
Or American Teen's up there. Up All Night, I reckon, which isn't on any of those albums, but is pretty damn good. But any of it, it's so easy to listen to.
Yeah, I really like the vibe of Khalid. It's very chill, very relaxed.
Rolling that he did with Calvin Harris and Future, it's pretty good. It's a bit less R&B, more sort of hip hop pop kind of thing. It's pretty good. But I just think any of his songs, they're so easy to listen to, and just I don't know, just whatever you do when you listen to music, he fits it.
Would you change of topic? If you had to pick between Drake or Kanye, who would you pick?
Oh, honestly, before you got me into Kanye a bit more, and like I obviously listened to Donda when it dropped, I would have said Drake before that, because that was who I knew. Other than maybe 4 or 5 seconds, I hadn't listened to many Kanye songs at all. But honestly, I don't know. I'd have to do a deep dive into Drake's stuff. But at the moment, I would say Kanye.
Yeah. I've heard this analogy that Drake... it's pretty accurate. That Drake is like the fast food
of Kanye.
No.
Oh, I think we're breaking up a bit. You still there?
Yeah.
No, I've lost you. Sorry, man.
Can you hear me?
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's back.
Are you clear?
Every second word is weird. Go again.
Hello?
Yeah, I've got you clearly there.
Maybe you can cut.
Yeah. No, go now. You're good now.
Yeah, I was saying that Drake is like the fast food of rap. It's kind of like everyone likes it, and it hits a spot. But like the production of Kanye is like on another level. It's kind of like
once you actually start listening to the music, not just having music playing, you learn a next like level of what you should listen to what you should listen for when you're listening to music.
Yeah.
Like I know it's a pretty easy pastime to just play music and get on with whatever you're doing. I do that quite a lot. But I think once you deep dive and you like listen to every song on an album in order, how it's supposed to come out, you get a different connection with the album. You can be like, you can hear everything that's going on and you understand why it's happened, and it's just awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know. We're coming up on an hour here. This is my longest podcast by far that I've done.
Big chat.
Yeah, it was good. That was.
I feel like we went over quite a lot of stuff.
You're breaking up again. Sorry.
Maybe it's the universe.
Yeah, maybe it's the universe telling us to stop talking. Anyway, but I will say thanks for having Isaac. That's been awesome. I think we'll have to come back and do another one at some point to keep talking.
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
That would be cool if we could do that again. Not soon, maybe in like 6 months or something. But yeah, thanks for taking, I don't know what you've been up to this morning or today, but thanks for taking
COVID grind.
Time out of your day to chat to me for a while. And yeah, so to the audience out there too, thanks for, if you've stuck around this long, congratulations. I hope you took a lot from that. I don't know how much of it's actually relevant, but yeah, I think probably what I can take from this one, travel is something you really should try to do as much as possible, whether it's in your same country you live in or overseas or just whatever, just your hometown even. Like, there's lots of things you may not have seen there. Then back to Survivor, find a TV show you like watching. Like, it's easy to chill out and just forget about stuff and just watch a TV show. And if you can find someone else who enjoys it and wants to talk about it too, that's even better. And then music, probably what I'll give to you guys there is, when you have time, listen to music and make listening to the song the only thing you do for maybe a whole album, maybe half an hour even, or like a couple songs. You'll see more of what the artist was trying to get to you if you listen to it and aren't trying to do something else at the same time. So yeah, I think with that, I will leave you guys to it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you've all stuck around too, because it's been a long one. But yeah, thank you, Isaac, and thank you guys all for listening. I'll talk to you next week.